obviously overnight things happened, and we heard about Karim Benzema, which is his destiny is just not to be a part of the French squad because he's had issues before, and a great striker that he's been. It's a sad blow for him personally because France, you do feel they've got a very dangerous forward line. Olivier Giroud might think he's got a bit more of a chance of playing and breaking Thierry Henry's record because he's only a couple shy. So, and I think they've got a day or so, haven't they, or 2 days before they can name a replacement for Karim, can't they?
Well, like you say, it's just breaking now, this news. And just to confirm what that news was, is that he has picked up a quad injury in his thigh, which has now forced him out of this World Cup. Regardless of whether they can call someone up, it's always a blow when it's so soon and so with kick-off just a matter of days away for France as well, because Didier Deschamps will have hoped that the 26 that he'd picked are the 26 that are going to make it through this tournament as deep as they can go. And we know what the threat of Benzema is. You know, I know he's had his problems, he's had injury issues this season as well. Yeah. But still, when he's on form, when he's fit, look how devastating he was last season. Yeah, and they've got a lot of exciting forwards, you know, from Kingsley Coman to Dembele to Mbappe, Griezmann. They've got a lot of dangerous players in that position, and it's a loss for them. And him personally, you know, these opportunities, he's, what, 34, 35 nearly now, Karim Benzema, and he's been a great striker. I mean, his season has been blighted at Real Madrid. And from the guy that carried the team last year to win the Champions League and be so pivotal, you know, sometimes things kick you and come back to haunt you. And unfortunately for him, he's going through that experience. He's out for 3 weeks, so it basically ruled him out of the tournament. So yes, very much so. And there are some quotes reportedly circulating from Benzema, which is, he says this: "In my life I've never given up, but tonight I have to think of the team as I've always done, so reason tells me to leave my place to someone who can help our group to make a great World Cup." He says, "Thank you for all your messages of support." So you're right there must be an indication that they can call up someone late, because they haven't kicked this tournament off yet. No, they can. They've got a couple of days, I think, to announce whoever that may be. If he was fit, would he have been a given in that starting 11? I think he would have played in front of Giroud. Giroud, by the way, has had a really good season at AC Milan. He's got about 10 goals already. So he's scored a number of important goals for Milan. So I would imagine, I mean, Didier Deschamps has gone very much, he's trusted the players that were the winners in 2018. You know, he stayed with quite a number of them players that served him so well. And that's nothing, you know, abnormal about that. That's managers do that. They trust certain players. And he'll be fine with Olivier Giroud if he's the guy that steps into that position. So well, he's looking to break a record. Well, being so close, and, you know, could Giroud surpass one of the greatest strikers that we've ever seen in the Premier League, if not the best, by some people's thinking, which is Thierry Henry. That's some achievement. I watched Olivier Giroud at Montpellier. I saw him a few times, and I always thought, what a good player. He's a very unselfish player. I never thought he'd get the goals he has. The numbers of his goals are quite extraordinary. And, you know, think of the clubs, you know, Arsenal and Chelsea as two examples now, well we've done for both. Then he goes to Milan, and likewise he continues his career. He's really underrated, and people use that phrase a lot, don't we, where we go, how underrated somebody, and because we appreciate them. But he really has had an incredible career from the guy that I saw at Montpellier. I was going to just say, you mentioned there about the options that Didier Deschamps has now that Benzema isn't there. This, of course, any player that's not in a team through injury weakens that team because there's a reason they've been selected. But France, holders, looking to defend their title, which never easy to do, can they cope without him easily? Is what I'm trying to ask. Especially in forward positions. You know, Mbappe is so dangerous. I mean, 2018 World Cup, he was at his absolute peak. And he had a stuttering start to the season, but as it's wore on in for PSG this year, he's got better and better. I saw him, I did the game against Juve when PSG got a victory, and there were moments in the game that he just come alive. Just in an instant, his pace is incredible. You could put Dembele and Kingsley Coman in there, that they had much more as well. So I
I think France can carry the loss of certain big players. They've lost Pogba, they've lost Kante.
Yeah.
So there's other problems in other areas. I still think France have many quality players.
Well, their first game is against Australia on Tuesday. So even without Benzema, you'd still expect them to come through that one with a victory.
Yeah, yes, I do. I mean, they lost an international game, I think it was against Denmark, 2-0. And there was a lot of criticism back in France about where the team was heading. But these are like games like England had lost. They're games that, in the grander scheme of things, their managers are looking at things and trying to get the team in the best condition for the tournament to start. It's no good being great, 2 months ago in a game that might be a National League game or Nations League game. So I always be careful.
Yeah.
France, when they won the World Cup, they lost 4-1 to Germany 3 months before the start of the tournament in 1998. And there was an outcry for Emi Jackie to go. I was there, I witnessed it. It was like, this manager is getting brutally given stick on every level. They end up winning the World Cup.
Yeah, well, that sometimes does happen. Denmark is in their group, as is Tunisia as well. But a huge blow for France ahead of this World Cup starting. As I say, it's kicking off in a matter of hours now, really. But Karim Benzema is out of this tournament. Their first game against Australia will be live on the talkSPORT network, as will every single game. You can download our app if you wish to do so, and you can switch between the stations very easily, so you can listen in to exactly the World Cup coverage that you want to be hearing.